Hello. My product or like my design is based off of juice pouches, and the material that are in juice pouches is just like a mixture. So it's kind of like mixed waste, but a mix of inorganic waste. So based on in the research it section of our instructions, going off of the list of the definition of inorganic waste is like a type of waste that does not contain organic compounds. This waste is generally very difficult to decompose by microorganisms, and usually it's glass, aluminum cans, dust, and metal are like some examples. And inorganic waste remains free from decay, with more than 500 years needed being common for effective decomposition. So disposal could be challenging. So that's kind of what I'm getting at. This in itself is really hard to recycle and reuse in itself. Like the manufacturer won't even reuse like old versions of this because it's just like not reusable. And then the usually what's I'll put like a picture of like what it's, I guess like a diagram of like what it's made out of basically, but like that's kind of the gist of like what I'm basing my design off of is like this. And so in my perspective, for me, getting the most out of used things, I just go to DIY. And so with a lot of like with this kind of juice pouch, it's still sturdy enough to be durable to use for certain things. So I made like a this prototype of like a wallet, and so it's kind of like it would have like the slit at the top that you put like money in, and then it has like the card slots that could be seamed just to clean it up, and even the middle could be seamed, the edges could be seamed just so it's more sustainable and durable. But for, and even on this side you could add like a little like coin purse if you really wanted to as well. But this is more of the functional side of it. Like this is something that I could take juice pouches that are really hard to recycle, reuse, and throw away, is something that is functional and also could be used for profit. Because if you just make a really good version of a wallet from just Capri Sun pouches and make it look really professional, which I'll also put up a picture of one that's completely finished and what that can look like as well. Using that and like selling that to people and using it as wallets for less than the retail value of a wallet, and it's really durable and sustainable, and it's just made out of like juice pouches, I'm like, that's kind of cool. So like that's like a way to just like get use out of it, and still like you got the drink because you already drank all of it, but they can continue using it by turning into things that you reuse in your daily life. So in theory, I would think like you could take a bunch of these whenever you just drink them, and just save them, and then turn them into things like a wallet, turn them into things like a tapestry, turn them into things like a sunshade for your car, turn them into things that are like just like even just decor in itself, like kind of just making things that are still functional, that you can still get something out of it and not have to immediately throw it away, which kind of prolongs not throwing these away and not letting them pile up and be wasteful. So I think like that's kind of my idea, is just if you can ever take things that are these mixed kind of products that are really hard to break down and decompose, turning into things that you can use for longer kind of prolongs you not having to throw it away and not having to force it to be put out into the world and not really kind of like discarded properly because of what it's made out of, and because of like possibilities that like maybe all the liquids not out of it, and so then it kind of ruins the like process of recycling it, because now the liquids are kind of contaminating it in a different way as well, and I don't know if you can completely get the liquids out. So that's why it's kind of like a complicated situation with juice pouches and stuff like that. So that's just something that I've noticed, that we drink a lot and like juice, and so like that would just be like a way to just reuse it and not have to always throw them away. Just always kind of use it as something that can just be used again and again and not force you to have to throw it away because it's still functional. And also that would help you save money, because if I make a wallet out of juice pouches and it's functional and everything is like dry, keeps the money dry, my cards can all fit in there, that's saving money on having to get a new wallet, because now I have a wallet that's just made out of something that I consumed, but also it's just like made right here. Not all it really took, like if you wanted the really really simple version, it was just tape. But like if you really wanted it, you can use a sewing machine and actually sew in like seams. But even with that, it's still, you could still use it as a wallet, and a really good wallet, and it's still less money than buying like maybe like a expensive wallet that's made out of other materials. So it's like, that's kind of my idea of like what I would do with like stuff like that that's like mixed waste, and then just kind of use it into something that's more functional. So yeah.